Hello, everybody. That was just me showing that remote neuromonitoring exists and how it is operated once it is inside a person. And I myself have it in me compliments of OPP. Back in 2019, I was at my previous address and I was sitting there. Ex-OPP chief went by. He waved at me. He was in a white Jeep Wrangler. He waved at me. A black truck pulled up beside him. It was at the lights at the corner of Center and Bridge. Black truck pulled up beside him. They pointed something and they shot it, and it went into my right ear. And that is when I started having problems. But what led up to that was me finding out what was taking place here in Napanee through the Morning Star mission, the human homeless trafficking, and the homeless exploitation for monetary homeless exploitation for monetary gains. I have been injured, tortured, sex assaulted, falsely arrested, seriously deformed to deflect crimes against me. I've been kidnapped May 27, 2021, 24 hours after asking for help against what has taken place with me under the false pretenses of incompetency through Shelley Hafner, worried about me not eating. Well, she was so worried about me not eating, why wasn't she buying me food, which I was eating and I do eat? So, if she's so worried about me, she should have been buying food for the homeless, the ones that actually did need it, and the ones that were going without, instead of coming up with that bullshit and trying to get me committed for this. So that was just to shut me up, in an attempt to shut me up, to get me kept so I would not be talking about and showing what I am showing and proving what I am proving, which is my identity theft. I am the victim of identity theft, identity change. I'm the victim of human trafficking, human sex trade, slavery trafficking, as a matter of fact. And yes, it does happen to men as well. And there is more than one way to go about committing that crime. It's not just females and girls, it happens to men as well. I have been sodomized through from OPP staff sergeants and William Wooldridge. I went to the hospital to try to get help. I was laughed in my face over by Dr. Barton that works at Lennox and Addington County General Hospital, and Dr. Pritchard tried to have me committed for having it happen to me because I'm a man and because who it was done to and from, which is they're co-committing cops. They're human traffickers, human sex trade, slavery traffickers. They're involved with financial thefts and frauds, identity thefts and frauds, using um, Clearview AI illegally to frame victims, putting prisoner tracking on non-criminals for tracking, for framing, and for trafficking your trafficking victims, using your badges, positions, lies, false guise of law to criminalize your victims, to be above suspicion, getting your victims medically blacklisted through your co-committing doctors, Dr. Tatiana V, doctor who happens to be Stacy's girlfriend, but the seriously dangerous cops that are involved is OPP Spencer Mills 14716, ex-chief, staff sergeants Shannon Cork, Robert King, Robert Lucas. He's the one that told me he could fuck me, could kill me, could get away with it. Money badge, family, town council. And he was pretty well proven right. The worst part is the guy lives maybe only 50 feet away from my back door. So I have to wake up every morning or every time I go out my door, I have to remember that the piece of shit is nothing but a murdering garbage. There is also Stacy, mental health worker, now Kingston was Daily Tea Company, blonde hair woman. And there is Shelley Hafner, who is mental health worker and a cop. There is Dr. Joy Hadley, Dr. Tatiana V, Stacy's girlfriend, the one that basically signed my death certificate for this to happen to me so I would not be taken serious about what has taken place with me and by whom, how, and why. Revenge retaliation for speaking of their crimes. The stalking, having my mother stalked, using R&M on her, with the EMFs and the radiation from it causing tumors and cancer, causing her death. And it was with intent, just like everything against me is pre-planned, premeditated, conspired with intent. And that is not out of any kind of paranoia. I've been skull split. I've been seriously brain injured. I absolutely have no stimulation in my head anymore whatsoever from being deformed and injured so much and having all these different pieces of shit who are high using remote neural monitoring on me, broadcasting through me, doing this to me, causing my brain injuring and causing me to go totally numb 24/7 and my deforming and everything else. And that is done in hopes that I'm not talking about this anymore or not showing it so everybody gets away with their crimes. Right now, I'm being broadcasted through pretty heavily by Tyler Lake. The whole left side of my head actually face. This is the piece of shit Tyler Lake broadcasted through me. William Waldridge of 149 Center Street North. Jabin Allstein. Guy named Ray Ray that has a white deaf pit bull here in Napanee with his roommate Sam. That's probably where Jabin Allstein's hiding out. There's people down on Water Street. There's a Brandy. There's a Kim. There is others here in Napanee that are using it. There's Isaac. There's Curtis. Sarah. A woman on the corner of Bridge and Center Street. Bridge and Thomas, I mean. Side door entrance, the Crack Shack. She has reddish, blondish hair and seriously obese. William Wooldridge of 149 Center Street North is highly delusional. He's highly psychotic. He was stalking your children for sex slavery trafficking here in Napanee for the chief and himself. My skull's been split. Like, I am seriously numb. I have barely any feeling in my head at all except for being broadcasted through. And as crazy as this may sound, and I do realize that for ones that do not understand how this is happening. So this isn't an attempt to take me off of my consciousness, so I'm not thinking about what has taken place. So I'm not bringing criminal and civil lawsuits. But by the way, if there is any lawyers out there or anybody knows any good lawyers, I am looking for some for criminal and civil lawsuits against Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police, and each one individually involved, along with Lennox and Addington County General Hospital, and each doctor individually involved, and triage nurses and paladin security as well, and mental health for provable crimes that I've been going through and not being able to get any help. I've been proving my identity changes, I've been proving my deforming, and I've been proving everything else that I've been talking about that I've been saying is happening to me. This has been going on to me since 2019. So, anybody has had any dealings with Lennox and Annington, Ontario Provincial Police, especially Spencer Mills, Robert Keane, Robert Lucas, Shannon Cork, staff sergeants, or even the ex-chief or others now, even though they may have body cameras, beware of them. And if so, unless you've been 100% caught doing something, I would fight it because it's mostly 10 chances to 1 that it is a fake arrest, false arrest, done just to criminalize their victims, just to get them through the system, to be above suspicion, to traffic them. They're guilty of murders, they're guilty of attempted murders, they're guilty of murdering my mother, like I said. Doing this to me, I am the end of my bloodline, so OPP and the rest involved, you are guilty of ending a bloodline as well. And I know you really don't give two shits. I've been surrounded, hands on guns, by OPP to prevent anything illegal on them or doctors or anybody else, and I have video to prove it. Like I said, kidnapping, medically blacklisted. They have a justice of the peace here to make accusations against victims, to obstruct, saying people are high on marijuana and hallucinating, being sodomized and being ripped. I don't think so. I only have feeling in one spot in the back, and that is the back of my head, where I have a spot on the back of my head that I've had there for the past 3 years that will not heal. My skull's been split right down here, straight to the back. My head's completely flattened right now in the back of my head. It goes flat, it goes round. It's been elongated, it's been shortened, it's been widened. I've shown it and proven it. And also right now I'm being broadcasted through by a guy named Mike. He's a homeless guy here in Napanee. He's roughly 60, 65 years old. He has gray hair and he is homeless. He lives in a tent or a trailer. And this son of a bitch is using it on me right fucking now. This has nothing to do with any kind of mental illness, and I'm not gonna let you go that route. This is purely 100% criminal against me, and I've been saying so and consistent. Whom, how, and why for the past 3 years with everybody involved. The lies, the time buying cover ups, Blair Hardy, William Waldridge, Javen Alstein, Tyler Lake, Ray Ray, Sam. He's a child groomer and she's a sex offender. There's also an Allie Cooper, Bucktooth Bob, he goes by the name. I believe his right name is Robert Berry. There is Shelley Barchet, there's Tyler Lake, there's Michelle. Like I said, the woman on Center and Thomas Street. Curtis, setting fires, attempted arson to my old address, throwing blood on my old address as a warning sign to me. So I have to sit here every single day and go through this and put up with it. having all these different people basically sucking my life out of me and deforming me, using me like a fucking toy through remote narrow monitoring. Lennox and Ennington, Ontario provincial police are guilty of domestic terrorism for having this tech and using it criminally on victims for their benefit. So, but anyway, like I said, if anybody here in Napanee, unless can be proven otherwise, has been arrested, they're using Quinte Detention Center as a means to do it too. If you've been arrested by any of them, fight it, because 10 chances to 1 it will not be legal in any way, shape, or form. They do false arrest just to criminalize their victims so they can get their prints, their pictures, their signatures, and everything else needed for forgeries, framings, and frauds and identity thefts against them. Isn't that right, Spencer Mills 14716? And arrest you bastards. You're murdering a fucking bloodline. You're mentally messing me up in hopes to take me off my conscience so you can justifiably do something to me to try to stop me from what I'm showing and telling again. Blair Hardy is Bandito's Ontario chapter MC leader, allegedly, just like William Bill Wooldridge of 149 Center Street North is allegedly Hells Angels Ontario chapter leader. He is now bald with a goatee and glasses and goes to the Loaf and Ale and coffee cravings. I can sit here, it's pretty sad. I can sit here and I can actually feel these people's around me and their consciousness and everything around me. So this has nothing to do with any kind of mental illness in any way, shape, or form. It is purely criminal, and it is from, like I said, remote neuromonitoring and other tech that they have that's been in use since the 60s. My central nervous system is screwed. My lymphatic system is screwed. They've destroyed my right lung. They've destroyed my fucking right kidney. The right side of my body is from head to toe is pretty much screwed. It feels like it fills up with water all the time. Piss and shit from all of these people using it on me, and while they are broadcasting through me, their urine and feces are going through my body because it acts like a fucking hologram, and the way that they are hooked up through it. And yes, I do realize it does sound crazy, very much. I realize that, but it is 100% true. So, a lot of people would be surprised at the tech that exists nowadays and how it is actually being used criminally on people. Like I said, I am the end of my bloodline and I am an identity theft victim. I am an attempted framing victim. I am an attempted financial theft victim. Because Blair Hardy and the rest of them, that's also the crimes they commit, financial thefts and frauds, as well as the identity thefts and frauds. This is how they steal disabilities, pensions, welfares, and other crimes that they are committing. The insurance frauds, taking out insurance policies on their victims and murdering them and collecting on them. Isn't that right, Hardy? This is screwed. This whole left side of my face is completely fucked, and so is my right side. And if anybody has seen my videos in one, this whole right side of my head, or this whole right side of my head is pushed out, while the left one is pushed in different videos to show the deforming. I have pictures of my head that's completely and totally flat, and it also looks like I have fingers coming out of my head. No joke. Like, that is so messed up. It's not like that now. I've not had any surgeries. I've not had any neurological problems. There's been lies against me stating that I'm a self-harmer and suicidal, and none of that is true in any way, shape, or form. I've been trying to save my life. I certainly don't self-harm. I love myself enough to not do that shit. So, lies against me about drugs that I do not do, I'm against them. I've lost too many friends and family. I did do them. Like I said, I won't deny I have done them. Not since 2012, and I want nothing to do with it in any way, shape, or form. I overdosed from this shit, from what was called Dilaudid, and I was living in Kingston at the time, and I'm actually thankful that it happened because that was like my wake-up call. So, as bad as what it was, I am thankful that it happened. I've had a couple slip-ups now and again, not that this is anyone's business, but I've had a couple slip-ups now and again. I'm not perfect, but I have not done anything since 2012. I've lost too many friends and family from the shit. Seriously, close family that I love very much because of drugs, so I want nothing to do with it. I do not even like to take pills for anything. I don't like synthetics in any way, shape, or form. But a lot of people assume this stuff because I had my long hair and I have my tattoos, so a lot of people automatically assumed that I was into that kind of lifestyle, which 100% not fucking true in any way. And it's funny, no matter how much I prove anything about what has happened to me or what is happening to me, there is nothing I can do about it. Last time I went to the hospital here, I went in, I registered, I was told to sit down and wait for triage. I did that. There was no problems. Nothing else was said. I did that. Went to sit down, and next thing you know, Paladin security guard comes out of the triage area, and he he was a fat guy. He is about 500 pounds, roughly maybe 24, 25 years old. And he pretty much told me to get the fuck out of there, that nobody was going to be seeing me today, or that day, what I meant. Okay, well, fine. It caused me serious harm to my lung and to my kidneys, and I have not been the same since. I shit blood. I cough up blood. My ears, from having my head seriously deformed to different shapes and sizes from all these different people. I bleed through my ears even too sometimes. I barely have any sight in my right eye anymore. It's getting worse because of this. I have fluid and stuff coming up the back of my head and through my body, which goes to that spot on the back of my head, which is actually swelled up right now about the size of a goose egg. So, and this is all being done to me through Wi-Fi, cell phone, and computer. This is how OPP murder in Napanee. Their lies, their time buying, their cover-ups. Families are murdered and missing. It is Ontario provincial police as well. Some of it, and it's being done through them. They're being having it covered up through their doctors and through their inmate co-offenders. They are associated to Hells Angels and Banditos, obviously organized crime. They have to answer for nothing here. I've had my legal rights, my medical rights, and human rights all taken from me. So let this be a lesson to anybody in Napanee or anywhere else close around here. There's nothing my identity theft has done. And Jabin Allstein, Tyler Lake, Blair Hardy, Billy Waldridge, and the rest of you scum using this too, and Timmy, congratulations, and Mike, you're all getting away with it by being OPP little bastards. This is their way to be Pontius Pilates. They get an identity theft for a framing of a fucking inmate sex offender. Isn't that right? Billy Waldridge of 149 Center Street North. Delusional goof who was told that we were switched at birth but also thinks he's my dad and thinks that he is Harry Potter when we are not related in any way, shape, or form. So, you're inbreeding garbage is what you are. You are inbred garbage, Billy Waldridge, Blair Hardy, and the rest. You're all pedophiles and sex offenders. You're drug traffickers. You're human traffickers. This is how you're making your money. The financial thefts and frauds. Using an R&M on your victims to have illegal surveillance on them invasively so you can watch people naked, so you can watch them sleep, so you can watch them piss, shit, shower, do whatever they do. And I guarantee you, I am not the only one in Napanee that this is being done to. I guarantee it, I am not the only one. So, this is their way to mentally fuck up their victims and hope of getting out of criminal and civil lawsuits. Take a person off their consciousness. If they don't know what is happening and how, then they will automatically assume that maybe that they're going crazy when it has nothing to do with that in any way, shape, or form. So, little game, and that's exactly what it is. It's a little game. People need to start learning about tech and AI, nanotechnology, because it is very much exists and is being used criminally on victims, frying fucking brains out of people's heads, having this other people use to broadcast through them to live through them, so people think that they're going crazy or think maybe whatever. With me, I know exactly what is happening and I know exactly by whom and I know exactly how. And I've said so since 2019, since the beginning. And this has nothing to do with hate towards police in any way, shape, or form. This is about cops, the doctors, and their criminal co-offenders, Hells Angels, banditos, their human trafficking, exploitations, and other crimes and homicides that they are committing and getting away with unsuspecting, above suspicion. Another one was like that too, called Russell Williams, who they're also associated with. Isn't that right, OPP? Some of them are still. And Billy Waldridge, Blair Hardy. Everything has been done to prevent even arrest on them. Remember that, Shannon Cork, when I told you to arrest your boss when he walked by my place when you were there for your illegal bullshit street theater at my previous address? And I told you to arrest him, and you laughed in my face, told me to file a report, knowing it would do no good. File a report against cops. Yeah, right, like it would be ripped up, tore up. That's not gonna happen. I'm not that stupid or naive. But as you laughed in my face when I told you to arrest him, as he went on to stalk my mother, and he went on to cause my mother's death with intent. And you were very well aware of what was going to happen, along with the rest of the OPP involved since day one. And anybody that's come against me to do anything to try to do against me, you are all guilty of aiding in this crime against me, knowingly or unknowingly. And because of the positions that they hold, they can give orders to others who for to aid them in their crimes who cannot question those orders. So they're very serious threats because of their positions to other cops who may not be involved and to society itself because they got the JP here, because they got the doctors to co-commit, and assure the crimes that they are committing against their victims while not arresting anybody, even no matter how much proof one can prove crimes against them. This is the police you think you know. When they come to you, when you call them for help, they are coming to look at you as somebody that they could possibly make a victim. I was sold. They took it upon themselves to sell me like they owned me to Blair Hardy and Billy Waldridge and the rest of them for this identity theft, framing, and murder through the R&M on me and all the different fucking bastards that they are paying $300 a day to, plus all their drugs of choice, and I will not be proven wrong. I hope this is seen and I hope it's shared because it is very 100%. It is very 100% serious. I'm losing my life here because of this bullshit and I'm getting numbed down constantly. And how is it that I can sit here and I can feel these people's consciousness within me? That's kind of funny. Knowing people at that. Just know who is using this shit on me and broadcasting me at the time it's happening to me. I don't just pick people out of thin air just for the sake of, it's not happening like that because when I'm saying that I'm being broadcasted through, it is truly happening from these pieces of shit garbage. And it acts like a hologram over me. I get what feels like a laser all the time in the back of my head as well, and it burns like a son of a bitch to that spot on the back of my head where it actually will swell up, like I said, and peel. My skin will actually peel there. Guaranteed, my pituitary gland is completely calcified. One of the whole intents of this. My third eye was wide open. I was fully conscious and fully aware. I was mentally and physically doing good. I was spiritually doing good and growing until all of this started happening to me. I had not been to a hospital or a doctor in almost 7 to 10 years because of it. And then all of a sudden, ex-chief in the black truck and everything else to me, the lies, the cover-ups, the time buying, and then all of the medical stuff and problems start happening to me all at once. Kinda too convenient. And then also me going to other hospitals and them stating, well, we've seen your file, what do you expect us to do for you? That file is obviously falsified because, like I said, I hadn't been to a hospital or a doctor anywhere in approximately 7 to 10 years, so that file or anything they have on me is 100% lie, fake bullshit. Thank you, Tatiana V, aka Margie V. Talk about people with multiple personalities. You have two of them. You're Margie V and you're Tatiana V. So, who's the schizo? Who's the schizophrenic? Not me. I don't hear voices. I don't have imaginary friends. I don't have hallucinations. I do not have delusions or think that I am somebody that I'm not. I don't have multiple personalities. I am one person, but I criminally have others living through me, broadcasting through me from remote neuromonitoring from tech. So, this is what happens in Napanee when you speak up and try to save lives from cops here in Napanee. You become a victim. To my brother Trevor and my other family, I want you to know that before I forget, before this gets too serious and I seriously cannot remember anything, I want you to know while I am still me that I do love you and everything, everything I have been saying for the past 3 years is 100% truth. 100% holy truth. I have no reason to make this shit up. I have no reason to make lies about this garbage. It would serve no purpose for me in any way, shape, or form. I am not an attention seeking whore or anything like that, so this would serve me no purpose in any way, shape, or form. Right now, I'm being broadcasted through by Tyler Lake, and I can feel his fucking face right here on the side of me. All anybody has to do is look at my pictures and everything else, and they can see the changes to my face and head and everything else to my identity. This is another reason why I show my tattoo. And the whole right side of my head, like I said, I'm rubbing it right now, and I have absolutely no feeling, and I have no stimulation in my head or my brain anymore. So you're doing your job. You're completely fucking deforming me. You're taking my identity. You're changing my identity. You're completely ending a fucking bloodline for OPP revenge because you're a bunch of delusional pieces of shit garbage that you know are untouchable and unarrestable here in Napanee because you work for the cops. Outside cops or somebody need to come in and arrest OPP, and they need to arrest the doctors here and their boss, their Hells Angels boss, Billy Waldridge, and Bandito boss, Blair Hardy, along with Tyler Lake, Javen Allstein, and the rest name need to be arrested too. Your drug traffickers, your human traffickers, like I said, the financial thefts and frauds. This is how you're going about doing it. See, this is Chris here, but it's not. And my whole head and everything, my face has gotten fatter. This whole right left side of my head is even puffed up a little bit higher than my right. I have no control over my eyes. I hope you're having fun turning me into Tyler Lake and all these other fucking delusional pieces of shit garbage. Look at this split. I have videos showing this split on my head to show how wide it gets. I get air pumped through my head, I get it pumped through my body, blowing my body up like a damn balloon all the time. So if I could go to a hospital and get a brainwave test or a MRI or something like that, or go see a neurologist or get help in any way, shape, or form, it would prove a lot of stuff. But they cover all angles here when they commit their crimes, knowing that they got everybody with them. Let it be a lesson. You speak police crimes, you try to save lives, you will become a victim. And your parents will be murdered, most likely. You may go through identity theft, or they just may traffic you and they just might put a bullet in your head. You became cops because you know that you can get away with the crimes that you are committing. You know that if anything happens to you, it will just be a slap on the wrist with a paid vacation. You are aware of this. This is another reason that encourages you to commit crimes because you know that no matter what you do, it's just going to be a slap on the wrist and a papercation once again. We pay the police to murder us. Like I said, this has nothing to do with hate in any way, shape, or form. We pay them to murder us in the name of protecting us, and they are the biggest criminals right now here in Napanee because they have this tech and they are giving it to all of these different delusional pieces of shit to commit crimes for them so they can be Pontius Pilate. What made you think that my life was worth nothing, OPP? Hey, Spencer Mills, what made you think that my life was garbage to you? What fucking gave you the right to sell me, to do this to me? Same with the doctors here. You definitely need to answer for what you've done and are doing. You bloodline ending fucking evil, evil fucking low life pieces of shit garbage. Every single one of you. You're taking my life so you can have sex with children, so you can get back to your crimes with above suspicion and continue going about doing them with your inmate co-offenders, put prisoner tracking using them on your victims, right, Spencer Mills? So this identity theft is done. After all this time, it's done. So congratulations, you fucking garbage. You are nothing but murdering terrorists. But like I said to my family, especially my little brother and my nephew, I love you. I am proud of you. And I'm thankful that you're my family. I need you to remember this. I would never lie to you about something like this. Never. You mean too much to me, especially when it comes to mom. So, whatever is done to me is done to me. But they need to answer and pay for what they did to her. My mother did not deserve to have happened what happened to her. I realize everybody passes, but she could have went naturally, and there was nothing natural about this because it was caused to her from the remote narrow monitoring from you garbage stalking her as well. William Waldridge was even calling her mom. There's a lot of stuff here that I know because I was close that you don't, and I know it might not be good to bring it up, but it has to be put out there because our mother was murdered for revenge retaliation. Stacy, mental health worker, and Spencer Mills, Ontario Provincial Police 14716. Whether still here in Napanee or not, they are the ones that put him up to it. And Blair Hardy as well. They're conveniently untouchable and unarrestable. Anyway, I am gonna end this and I am gonna go have something to eat, and I hope this is seen and I hope it is taken serious. This is how the police traffic, frame, and murder. Remember, this is how they get revenge, and Isaac too right now is also using this. You think by taking my life it's gonna make your life any better by trying to become me, Billy Waldridge, you fucking delusional garbage. You're nothing more than a cocksucker for OPP. 100%. You are nothing more than a little teabagging bitch boy. I don't care if you're Hell's Angels leader or not, allegedly. You're a delusional piece of shit garbage. Blair Hardy, you were nothing but garbage too. You're probably sitting down on Water Street or up at the Woman on Center and Thomas, or maybe even right next door above the wine store or bakery with a disabled woman. Is that where you're collecting your welfare checks? Hey, you scumbag piece of shit, you meth dealing garbage. Everybody that's overdosed in this town in Napanee is from laced drugs from him through OPP. Let that be known. If anybody does those garbage, the fentanyl and all the other crap, and they've led the overdoses, that's what it's from. There's also a Burt Hustler and a Maggie Falls who was a pill dealer, and she is also an undercover. Love all, hate none. To my family, to my brother again, I love you. This is all 100% truth. Lennox and Annington OPP, once again, Spencer Mills, 14716, Staff Sergeants, ex-Chief, Shannon Cork, Robert Kane, Robert Lucas, Stacy, and Shelley Huffner. Dr. Tatiana V., Lennox and Annington County General Hospital, Dr. Joy Hadley, Dr. Waldron, Dr. Barton, Dr. Pritchard, Dr. McGregor, Triage Nurse Terry, Triage Nurse Tanya, Triage Nurse David, Paladin Security. Blair Hardy, Billy Woldridge, 149 Center Street North. Glasses now goatee, gray and bald, or grayish and bald. Blair Hardy, Tyler Lake, Javen Allstein, Ray Ray, and others. Congratulations to you pieces of shit. You do realize that you are nothing more than OPP scapegoats for their revenge, right? Even if you are getting free drugs and money and protection from them, you are still OPP scapegoats, committing their crimes for them. I'm not going to take a fall for you, Aldridge or Hardy, whether I have your prisoner tracking on me or not. You fucking piece of shit. You're lucky these kind of crimes are legal here in Napanee. You're lucky that murder is legal. You're lucky that human trafficking and pedophilia and all the other things are legal here when it's done through OPP. And you're lucky that you have a lot of people backing and covering you up and co-committing. Love all, hate none.